Okay, welcome. Today is July 7th, 2026. Chaf Beis Tammuz. Tov Shin Pei Vav.
You know that Moshe Feinstein has a tshuva on going to the army versus learning Torah that he wrote 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know all the riots going on now. And
Yeah. What's Rabbi Moshe
You know
say?
about this tshuva? No one even knows.
No, I didn't know.
It's in your day, Chelik Daled Siman Lamed Gimel.
What does Rabbi Moshe say?
He says that fighting in the army is the IDF is an Indian gadol. Right, if I'm not mistaken, his language. It's very important. He says if a person has a cheshek, has a true desire to learn, that's even better. And it protects more. In a very concise few sentences, all the whole tumult that everyone's fighting about, but Moshe 40 years ago answered the question.
You look all over Navi, and we have many warriors.
Yeah, but that's different because there's also another factor that everyone was religious. David HaMelech, the IDF primarily is in a religious organization. So that's another factor.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't address that in the Jew. He doesn't address that. He just addresses that when a person learns Torah, it protects. All right. Anyways, where are we starting from today?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reb Shimon had all these brilliant learnings from the Pasuk, and Rabbi said, Dilida Yudzayin Amid Beis and Makkos, Dilida Ime Reb Shimon Talid, one whose mother is giving birth to a baby, she should daven that she give birth to one like Reb Shimon, V'iloi Talid, and if not, she should not give birth to him. V'afagav Islahu Percha, and I say this even though
You skipped the footnote that you quoted last night. All right, don't worry about it.
Even though there are refutations,
the footnote?
yeah, Ritva deletes the words, and if not, she should not give birth to him, since there are many worthy degrees below Reb Shimon.
Yeah. Who else is like Rabbi Shimon? Rabbi Shimon was like Adam HaRishon before the sin.
As what?
Such a high level.
Was his Gilgal?
You don't even know what that means. He was so pure, no sin. Talk about it.
Shimon Bar Yochai.
Hey, Bar Yochai, Didi. Alright, carry on.
Lag Boimer.
Yeah.
What's Pshat people cut their hair Lag Boimer?
What'd you say?
Why do people go there to cut their hair Lag Boimer?
Lag Boimer is all about Rashi because that's when he came out of the cave. That's when all the Sisrei Torah, aka Kabbalah, was revealed to the world. That's called the Hilula, the Rashi. He died on that day, but when a person in a tzaddik dies, you affect the world all the more so. Of course, we have a Rabbi Kiva playlist that we discussed a lot of these over there. Mm-hmm. And so why do people cut their hair? So a lot of Rashi. Yeah, why do they cut their hair? No. Why after their hair? Maybe because it'd be pure like before the sin or something. It's what to look into more. Yeah. There's also a custom, I think, to throw clothing in the bonfire because he didn't wear clothing when he was in the cave. So that imagine you wore the same shirt for 13 years. What would happen?
Is that what it means, Lifnei Achet? That he was like Adam?
Yeah.
No clothing?
No, yeah. So would it? Yeah, because there's no Yetzer Hara, but he put on clothing only to daven because when you wear clothing, there's a wear and tear. But if you don't wear it, it can last longer. So he only put on clothing to daven. Yeah. Preserved it. I don't care how good the quality is of the clothing.
Why not when he's learning Torah?
When he's learning Torah, he was buried underground. So there wasn't a problem of air or anything. But for davening, you have to be dressed up. Anyways.
Okay, so what's Rabbi's problems with Reb Shimon's deductions? We had all these seemingly stringent items in the pasuk. What is the stringency of bikurim over meiser sheni that was assumed by Reb Shimon? Shekain asurim lazarm. It must be that bikurim are forbidden to non-kohanim, and meiser sheni can be eaten in Yerushalayim by anyone. But I say to the contrary, Meiser Sheni is more stringent. Shekain Aser La'oinain, as it is forbidden to an einain, somebody whose close relative died, and he's not allowed to eat Meiser Sheni, but Bikurim is permissible to an einain. Umay chumra de soida ushlamim mi Meiser, and what is the chumra? The soida, it says, doesn't say toida.
Oh yeah, okay.
The toida ushlamim mi Meiser, and what is the chumra of toida and shlamim over Meiser Sheni that was assumed by Reb Shimon? Shekain to unen matan damim ve'imurin lagabe mizbech. It must be that toida and shlamim karbanis require the place of dam and sacrificial parts on the altar, which don't apply to Meiser Sheni because it's not a carbon at all. Adarabba Meiser Chamer, but I say to the contrary.
Right, because Meiser
Meiser
Sheni
is more Chamer. Shekain to unen kesef tzura, as it requires minted coins for its redemption.
Yeah, remember this talking about if you have too big of a load. Forget the
Yeah.
So then you got to exchange it on the coin, and then you have to bring it. All right, now
but what, exchange it on what? I thought you can just exchange it for regular money.
Yeah, and then you spend it in Yerushalayim, so you don't need to slap everything.
But what's minted coins? What's kesef tzura?
Oh, that's the beginning of Kedusha. It's a special type of coin.
So you can't trade your large load of Meiser Sheni for regular money?
Surah means it has to have an image on it. And back then they didn't have a printing press. Right, so it had to have an image of...
I mean, it has to be actual, like a currency. You can't trade it, you can't barter it. It has to be money, right? Is that what it means?
It has to be something with a picture on it.
But so you can't trade it for a golden vase that has value that you can trade in your Yerushalayim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the chumrah over the toida and shlamim that was assumed by Rabbi Shimon? Shekain kedushasai meirechem. It must be that the Bechor's kedusha is from the womb, whereas the kedusha of toida and shlamim is only by the owner. Adrabah toida shlamim chamurim. But I say no. Toida shlamim is more chamer. Shekain to unen smicha unesachem usnufas chaza v'shaik. Since they require leaning, nesachem, libations, and the waving of the breast and thigh.
What do you mean leaning?
You have to lean on the animal.
I'm not talking about lean meat.
No.
You gotta push
down
the animal. Okay.
Whereas the Bechar offering, you don't have any of these procedures. And what is the chumrah of the chatas and the asham over the Bechar that was assumed by Reb Shimon? Shekain kadshe kadshu. It must be that the chatas and asham are in the category of kodesh kadashim, whereas the Bechar is in the category of kadosh and kalim.
Which has a lot of stringency, such as only being shechted in the north.
Yeah, you got to burn the whole thing.
You can't just shecht it anywhere in the Azara.
No. Adarabah Bechar chamer.
Kohanim could eat it, etc. There's many differences.
Yeah, but I say the Bechar is more chamer. Shekain kedusha meirechem, since its kedusha is from the womb.
Yeah.
And what is this chumrah that was assumed by Reb Shimon of the oila over the chatas and asham? Shekain kolol. It must be that the oila is entirely burned on the mizbeach, whereas only a portion of the chatas and asham are burnt on the mizbeach, but the rest of the meat is eaten by the male kohanim.
Yeah, the kohanim get something.
But I say to the contrary, the chatas and the asham are more stringent. Shekain mechaper, because they are mechaper. Right? And we know
what about the oila?
The oila is not mechaper, no.
What does it do then?
It you know what it does?
Yeah, what does it do?
It's a gift.
It's a gift? It's an adava?
No.
No, for sure it's mechaper and a mitzvah asay and a lois asay.
Ah, you're asking a good question.
And a hero avera, a bad thought.
But it's the oila lemaisa is a. I got it. It says the oila. No, it says the oila, however, is primarily a voluntary offering. I was mechaven.
I think in Sefer Vayikra, I think the oila starts off Vayikra. So I think that
it does 1:4.
Yeah. So
1 second. The one who offers an oila receives kapara for certain misdemeanors.
So it does do kapara.
Yeah, but the Torah never obligates a person to bring an oila on account of a specific sin. Rather, it assures a person who offers it voluntarily that in the merit of his pleasing God in this manner, his misdemeanor will be forgiven.
So why is the oila the first korban in Vayikra if it's not even mechaper?
It's mechaper certain, but yeah.
Answers the nachlasvi because the Zohar said that the only comes from hero avera, from a bad thought. The bad thought precedes the bad sin, therefore it makes sense that it's first.
Forget
forget
If you
about
clean up
how
your-
many Torahs do people know why the oil was first?
So the Nachlas Tzvi is saying that if you clean up your Hirurim,
That's the Eker.
it will lead to not
like-
doing the Aveil.
That's
As soll ich sag, the
the
Nachlas
main
Tzvi, the
thing.
Shomash have an Aliyah.
The tshuva, when it comes to perfecting a person, the main thing is to get the thoughts in the right place. You got good thoughts, you got everything. You got bad thoughts, you got squat.
And even when you're doing mitzvahs, you should have good thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Because
How many people are that? It says in. I just said this in between Min Samar Vetshari. Elu berechev ve'elu besusim. Right? You know this line. We say it every single morning, right? Right before Valatzion.
Chariots and the horses.
Yeah, they go with the chariots and horses. V'anachnu b'shem Elokeinu nazkir. We mention Hashem's name. In other words, the other nations of the world, they think it's all in the strength. You go to the gym, you pump some iron, now you're going to be mighty and you're going to be strong. We say no, it's all Hashem. You got to have faith in Hashem. Ties into Moshe's tshuva. Another explanation. There's a story the
Moshe's tshuva on the army.
Yeah, the same idea. But there's another tie-in over here that one time the Rebbe went to the Kosher and he said, "Oh, welcome." So he said, "I was here the whole time during davening. What does the Rebbe mean?" So he said, "Welcome back. You went over there, you went over here, who knows where your mind was during davening." Elu berechev, elu besusim. People, they need to travel. They go on horses, chariots, cars. V'anachnu b'shem. We just mentioned Hashem's name. We're over here. We're already in California. We're in Hawaii. We're in Shiloh's going to Hawaii, but you get the point.
Now let's tie it all together, because I know we discussed this in the past and you've given shiurim on this topic. What if someone's riding a horse or in a chariot and they need a daven mincha? We're bringing it together. Now the Jew is on the horse or in the rechev, but he needs to daven. He can't get off. It's going on.
Okay, you could daven while you're riding, if you really can.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? If you can't get down, if you literally can't.
You shouldn't not daven.
It happened to me. We came back. I don't go off lights off, and I went.
Oh, he drives the Tesla and was doing self-driving.
That already puts your on also, because no one talks about Torahs about that.
Moshe has no tshuva on Teslas.
I don't do that. No one's got tshuvas on those. But I put together some. But the truth is, I don't do the self-driving, too slow. But the point is that when we got stuck, I took around 3 flights in the last 10 years. Okay, one was for a wedding, maybe 2 round trip. Everything was delayed. I didn't think. I thought we would make it. I thought we would get home in time for mincha. I was in the Uber, and in the Uber, it was bumper to bumper. What are you gonna do? You can't pull over. Dangerous. Side of the highway, it's passing. Your yotze, you fulfill your obligation. Remember, the main thing with davening is in the heart.
In the lave.
Preferably, yes, you stay in 99.9% of
In the heart or the mind?
It's in the heart.
Emotion.
It says in the beginning of Tainus, the Rambam in the beginning of Hilchos Tefillah quotes it. That it's all the heart. What is the service in the heart? Answers the Gemara. I just want to answer. It's in the heart. It's in the leaf. You gotta mean it. How many people are davening? Some people minute the clap. Slach lanu. They don't even realize what they don't.
So you don't have to go back if you didn't clap.
Nah, I personally don't.
You don't clap? Ever?
No, I was taught to
Yom
when I was a
Kippur?
kid. No, for vidui, Chas v'shalom, of course. But for Shmona Esrei.
I even clap him and doing Chazar Sashat.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, according to some, there is.
What are we doing when we clap? We're trying to wake up the lave?
Hey, you're trying to say, give me forgiveness. That's the heart. Sometimes I tell my kids, look, put your ear, you'll hear my heart. So it's a way to connect. Hear my heart. I've got a real heart there. Alright, weiter in Zug.
Okay, weiter in Shas.
You can't put that on.
Oh, no, we paused it. Not everything could be on. We got lots of viewers. I think we had 8 views. Also, last night's
competition with me.
That's
why I haven't been getting impressions. They've all been going to you.
Last night's video, I uploaded sideways. I recorded it sideways.
Is that better?
No, you have to turn your head to watch it.
Oh, I see. I think there could be a way to rotate the thing.
Possibly, but once it was up, I realized.
You should have done it on the phone. You should have pressed the record button.
Which one?
On the phone. It was a missed one. We had an hour session on the phone.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
That was cash.
We do, when I'm away, I do Zoom.
Yeah, we do Zoom.
We've done Zoom. We gotta record the Zooms.
You gotta do everything. Right?
Maisa, there's a lot of Torah on the internet. No?
You can't lose by recording. So I mean, unless you say something and someone holds it against you.
No, Torah's Torah.
There's nothing to hold against. Yeah, whatever. You gotta let them know. Yeah. That's it. All right.
Okay.
All right, Rabbi.
And all the Kabbalah mentioned above, the Chatas, the Asham, the Bechor, the Toida, and the Shlamim, that Reb Shimon wished to derive the halachas of the Oila through a Kal V'chomer, are more stringent than the Oila. The Isbahu Shtei Achilos, as they are subject to two consumptions. The altar consumes the sacrificial parts, and the Kehanim consume the rest of the meat. An Oila, however, is entirely consumed on the Mizbeach. What was Reb Shimon saying here?
So up until this point is what Rav is saying.
Yeah, but what did Reb Shimon? What's Rava going on? Reb Shimon wanted to say at the end.
Shimon's drasha.
No, he wished to learn.
He's refuting it.
Yeah. But what did Reb Shimon say that he's refuted about this last one?
Okay.
He wished to derive the laws of the Oila through a Kal V'chomer, that they're more stringent than the Oila. Let me just go back to this.
Rabbi Shimon.
He said.
Wait, Rabbi Shimon we learned yesterday, right?
Yeah.
That was on the previous Amud, Rabbi Shimon. Right.
That you can learn Chatas and Asham. Hold on.
Kal V'chomer. Okay. Yeah, so he learned Rabbi Shimon Ma Bazel Manuim Oichel Chutzah. Right. So he was saying that when the pasuk says Nidarecha, it's referring to an oila. So don't tell me he's talking about Chutz L'Chaim over here, Kal V'chomer Ma'aser. Don't tell me before this week Kal V'chomer from Tod L'Shabbat. Don't tell me after this week Kal V'chomer B'Chor. If it's talking about outside of the Kiloim Kal V'chomer Chat L'Ashim, rather it's coming to tell us if you're eating from an Ola after the Zrika, even inside, then you get Makkos. That's that line. You see it? Top
In Lefnei Zrika?
Top of your Zayin base. No. After Zrika.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm just up to the Zrika.
Top of the base. So then he's going into the stringencies. That's the line. Eating from the Ola after Zrika. Even inside, you get
He eats
Makkos.
from the Oila unit. That he incurs Makkos.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming to teach.
Mm.
And that what? The Oila is more. Even a Kohen who eats from the Oila, even after the filling, even within curtains, he gets Makkos. And therefore that. So then he says, all the Karbonos mentioned above are more Chomer than the Oila. So what's Rabbi saying over here with this final point? Oh, okay. Although Rava already refuted each in Reb Shimon's chain of reasoning, he has a general reason why the Oila cannot be learned from any of the Karbonos mentioned above. Because the Oila has two consumptions.
The Ola has one, excuse me.
Oh, the Oila has one.
Yeah.
And these have two. And the fact that it has two, therefore what?
So they're more stringent, so to say. They're better. Chatzis and Ashim, it's Bachaper. Or this is the last one.
So you can't learn
They're all more
Oila.
stringent because there's a double consumption.
So you can't learn.
Gets it.
So you can't learn Oila that you get Malchus from this.
Yeah.
You can't compare the two. Elamai delida ime Reb Shimon. Then what is the? Why did Rabbi say one who's giving birth should daven that it should be like Reb Shimon? Dilamai desfir le'ledide, because given Reb Shimon's own line of reasoning, that the Oila is more chamer than the Chatas and the Asham, which are in turn more stringent than the Bechara, which are in turn more stringent than the Toida Shlamim, which are in turn more stringent than the Ma'aser Sheni, Misaris Le Likra V'Darsh Le. He brilliantly inverts the pasuk and expounds on the items listed in it in a different order from the one found in the pasuk. Had Reb Shimon learned the pasuk in the order in which the items are listed, he could not have arrived at the same results.
Good job. We should have done this originally, but the answer is good job. We did it already.
I wonder what the parameters of that is. You can just twist things around.
No, it says, for example, he seeks to learn from the pasuk's listing of Bechar that a non-Kohen is usher to eat the meat of the Bechar offering even after Zrika is performed. In order to do so, he must first show that the Isser against eating it outside of Yerushalayim and B, eating it before the Zrika are already known through a Kal V'chomer, the former from Meister Sheni and the latter from Toida and Shlamim. Only then can he argue that the pasuk's mention of Bechar is intended to teach the new Isser against a non-Kohen's eating its meat even after the Zrika. But had he expounded the pasuk in order, he couldn't have done so, for he could not then derive the second of these halachas as a Kal V'chomer from Toida and Shlamim, since that law is as yet unknown in regards to Toida and Shlamim, which are listed only later in the pasuk. He would have no choice but to conclude his exposition regarding the Bechar by deriving merely an Isser to eat its meat before the Zrika. He cannot proceed to derive that non-Kohen is prohibited to eat its meat even after the Zrika. The same applies to each successive exposition, Azoizak Rashi. One might wonder, says Tosfos, what in fact compelled Reb Shimon to expound the pasuk in this seemingly arbitrary order. Tosfos explains, because it's plural, Tosfos explain that it is not capricious at all. Reb Shimon reasons that although the Bechar is listed before the Toida and Shlamim, it could not have been mentioned to teach the Isser against eating its meat before Zrika, since even if the pasuk had entirely omitted the Bechar, this would have been known via Kal V'chomer from Toida and Shlamim. Before, Scripture intends for us to expound the verse in an inverted order so as to derive something novel from each item it lists. Okay? Sagt the Gemara, fragt the Gemara, Fichi mezhirin min hadin, Fichi mezhirin min hadin, can we learn an Isser on the basis, 2 days ago. Can we learn yesterday? Can we learn an Isser on the basis of
2 days ago was a phone call.
a Kal V'chomer? Ha'afilu leman da'amar oinshim min hadin. Why, even according to the one who says that we can establish a punishment on the basis of the logic of a Kal V'chomer, ein mazirin min hadin. We can't. Even according to the one who says we can establish a punishment, we cannot establish an Isser on the basis of the logic of a Kal V'chomer. So how can Reb Shimon assert that the pasuk is not needed to teach those Isurim that can be derived?
It's usually like a warning.
No. Shabbat is supposed to be read.
No, it's just the answer. Ema's hearing is a warning.
It says we cannot establish a scriptural prohibition. Establish a prohibition is, I guess, another word for saying warning.
Nope, just try making it more complicated sometimes.
So the Gemara said, an Isra on the basis of a Kal V'chomer, even the one who says, how do you get punished? How does someone say you get punished from a Kal V'chomer, but you don't get a warning from a Kal V'chomer? Doesn't the punishment come second?
Yeah, so.
So you're saying that the Torah speaks, according to this number, the Torah speaks out the warning, but the punishment's a Kal V'chomer.
Something like that. Yeah. The warning's just not coming via the Kal V'chomer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely, some of the Bachim definitely do this part.
Isura be'oma. Reb Shimon learns the Kal V'chomer from the Kal V'chomer, a mere Isser against the act, but not a full-fledged negative commandment that is punishable by Makkos. What? Didn't Reb Shimon's whole point was to say that it's not just an Isser, but you're going to get Makkos?
That's the Chiddush.
Rashi says Reb Shimon concedes, however, that Makkos is not incurred for violating any of these additional prohibitions. That's a big chiddush.
No Makkos attached.
Yeah, before we thought there was Makkos attached. But the question is so good that the Torah says, listen, you're right. It's not. But if you have Azhara, isn't that enough to know that it's Aser? I guess not. You need to have, right? Now we're like separating what. There's like another category now. There's Azhara. There's the Torah saying that it's Aser. And now the Torah is speaking out that you get punishment. Like there's 3 different categories now.
What was the third? You had the Azhara, you had the Onesh, and then the Torah?
No, you have the Azhara, you have the Isura,
Yeah, Isura, yeah, new category.
and then you have Oynish.
Yeah.
So according to Rabbi Shimon, you don't get Oynish. According to Rava, I imagine the way he was asking these questions, I guess he doesn't darshan out that it's coming to teach you Makkos. It's just going to teach you that you're not allowed to eat it outside the walls of Yerushalayim, all those items, like Pashup Shat, But according to Rava, also you probably wouldn't get Makkos. It's just a warning, or not a warning. I don't know. That it's usher. Yeah. So what's the difference between Rabbi Shimon and Rava now, according to this? V'amar Rava zar she'achal min ha'olah lifnei zrika chutz lachayma. But Rabbi has
that
said,
could precisely be the Gemara's next question.
Let's see, if a non-kohen eats from an oila before the throwing of its blood to the mizbeach outside the wall of Yerushalayim, Rabbi Shimon loike chamesh. According to Rabbi Shimon, he gets 5 separate Makkos penalties because he ate it outside Yerushalayim, he ate it before the dam was thrown, sprinkled. He ate it even though he's a non-kohen. He ate it outside the temple courtyard, and he ate oila meat, which you're not allowed to.
So this is basically your question. According to Rava's understanding, within Rabbi Shimon, right?
Now, as we see in the Brisa, Rabbi Shimon relies on the logic of Kal V'chomer to learn that the first 4 of these Isurim apply to the Oila. Since Rava observes that according to Rabbi Shimon 5 penalties are occurred, we see that Rabbi Shimon means to derive the Isurim by Kal V'chomer even regards to Makkos. Why?
Why what? The main question is how could you punish him a Kal V'chomer over here? What's happening over here? That's the main problem, right? For Rava?
We try to reinterpret Rabbi Shimon's words to say that he's just learning out from the Kal V'chomer that it's asur, not that you get Makkos. Then the Torah Gemara says that can't be, because Rabbi Shimon says you do get Makkos.
Yeah. How could that be? Because ain't mazir min adin. You can't punish from Kal V'chomer.
Because the first 4 are not The Rikva says, although Rabbi uses the same language as Rabbi Shimon, the Gemara assumes that if he had not meant this in the literal sense, he would have been more explicit, since Amoraim generally clarified their intent.
Yeah, I saw that Rikva.
So I don't understand the question.
Huh?
Yeah.
Can't punish from Kal V'chomer.
I don't think that's the question, though. I mean, yeah, I understand that's the question, but
The
how do we know? How do
getting,
we know?
You're getting the punishment is being deduced from a Kal V'chomer, which
What shaykh is the loike chamesh? That's what I don't understand.
that's derived from his drasha that he made. He made a drasha. If that wouldn't be so, you wouldn't get Malchus for outside
for 5
of the walls.
of them, right? The only way the Torah says oila, that's only one case of Malchus. The fact that he gets an additional 4 shows that he's learning it out from the
It's not a mere
Kabbalah.
Isser.
Chamisha isurin habu. Rava means only that there are 5 isurim violated according to Reb Shimon.
That's a chiddush.
It's
not that he gets lashes, it's just Isser.
It says 5 Malchus penalties.
That's why I said it's a chiddush.
It's to describe the number of transgressions.
Wait, that's the Gemara's next question.
Actually, however, the violation incurs Malchus only for the Isser as explicitly stated.
That's the Gemara's next question, huh?
Yeah, but when it says Malchus, it doesn't really mean. Yeah, V'ha anan tnan elohein haloikin.
Yeah.
It actually
Opening mission,
says
it says
Malchus.
Malchus explicitly. if you're gonna write Bikurim before the Kriya,
So how can you say the
Kabbalah
Kabbalah provides a basis only for non-Malkus Yisurim? So the Gemara
Yud
says,
Chesam Ad Aleph.
Elakra Yiserahu. Rather, Reb Shimon means that the pasuk he learned,
Keep turning it up.
which lists individually each item that may not be eaten outside Yerushalayim, is a superfluous verse and may therefore be interpreted as containing additional Malkus level prohibitions. Mifti, Ksiv, Vavesiv Shama, V'chaltam Shama Fnei Hashem. It's written early in the passage. You shall bring there to Yerushalayim your Oila offerings, your Shlomim offerings, your Meiser Sheni, the Chum of your hands of El, your donated in the firstborn of your cattle of flax, and it says, and you shall eat them before Hashem your God. The Torah thus commands us to eat every item on the list in Yerushalayim. Accordingly, when coming to add this positive commandment, the force of a negative commandment, against eating any of these out of Yerushalayim, let the Torah simply write, you may not eat them in your outlying cities, as the pronoun them would clearly refer to the items enumerated in verse 6. Why does the Torah need to explicitly say each of them? To learn that there's a specific isser to each and every one of them. Thus, in the case of Bikurim, the extra isser forbids on pain of Malkus eating them before the recitation of the verses, and it's for this reason that the Mishnah lists this violation among those that carry. So what this Ella, what's it answering? Which question?
The question is to, what do you mean? It says Makkos.
No, I get that. So it has to re-explain Reb Shimon.
Yeah.
It has to re-explain Reb Shimon to which question?
To the question of how could he say such a statement that you get the Makkos and it's being derived from a Kavachomer?
Yeah, it's all the way back to that question?
It's not all the way back. It's quite recent, no? Rabbi.
So this is going back now, saying Reb Shimon does say you get Makkos. Is that right? And the reason he's able to say, so he's not learning it out from a Kavachomer, he's learning it out because it's extra.
Yeah. AKA not Kavachomer.
But didn't Reb Shimon actually say, like, the lashon of a Kavachomer?
Now we're inserting this.
No, I think what it means is it's still a Kavachomer, but you're not getting punished Malkus solely because of the Kabbalah.
Yeah, that's how
You're getting punished. You're getting Malkus because of the extra words. That's where we're learning it out. But I don't think we're dismissing the Kabbalah entirely.
Well, remember, you only can't use the Kabbalah for the warning.
No, for the punishment. Oh no, according to that mandam, for the warning.
Yeah. Just making sure I'm paying attention.
Right. So the extra words is to teach you the warning, right? And no, the extra words are there to teach you that you get Malkus. The Kabbalah is there to teach you
It seems like this Gemara actually is even going to continue on this point.
It says, in conclusion, then, according to Rashi, Reb Shimon discussed two levels of Isurim. From the extra pasuk, he learned that one who eats Bikurim before the Kriyas Hashem or the meat of any offering before Zrika is liable to Malkus. That's what he learns from the extra, not the Kavachomer. It's the extra part that you get Malkus. And by means of Kavachomer, combined with the Inyan, whatever, if unnecessary in this context, Reb Shimon learns that mere Isurim against a non-Kohen's eating of a Bachar, or anyone's eating of a Chatas Rasham outside the courtyard, or anyone's eating of an Oila even inside the courtyard. So the Kavachomer is not teaching you Malchus, it's teaching you that it's Usr. The punishment? That's not from a Kavachomer. That is from the extra words. Now, how you would type that up according to the
I thought the only problem was on the warning.
What?
I thought the only problem was on the warning. You said Ein Mazir Minute then, right? Because this is going on, we said...
There's two Mandiyamrim.
Oh, Mazir Minadin, even according to the Mandamar that says Oinshim Minadin, Ein Mazir Minadin. I thought we were only coming to answer for that.
Ein Mazir Minadin.
Good morning.
Because it's not just a Kal V'chomer. He's using that Be'inyan. What's that term? The phraseology?
Yeah. You give it to something else if it's used.
Yeah, it's not only using the Kal V'chomer, I think.
Yeah, something.
Shalom. Where's the next Mishnah?
Next Mishnah, it just keeps going right.
Oh, we got a lot of Mishnahs. Ooh, someone shaves their head?
Yeah, it's going to talk about the prohibitions of cutting payas and everything. Big problem nowadays.
You gotta be
kids,
careful
like
at the
getting
barber, the fades.
a -2 over here on the side. They get a 8 on the top.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, the mohawk was the thing. Oh, mohawk.
We should link in the comments to Rabbi Yosef Kushner's shir, the first episode we did with him on Kosher Money. He spoke about people go to the barber, they don't know the halachas. He says if you see someone in shul that doesn't have a right haircut, you should walk over to him. It's a deraisa, and you say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but obviously you want to do it privately, but he feels it's a responsibility to go over and say something.
He's not going to listen.
But maybe it's also depending on how you say it. It could be that he's unfamiliar. You have to know. But if you see a regular balabas in your shul that davens there, and he might not be familiar. Also, many times people don't know. They just go to the barber, they walk out, and you have to be very careful.
They're not holding the sugi. They have a very good packet. The Halacha, the packet series. They have one on haircuts. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know in English. They have the pocket series. What's so funny?
So you looked at the time.
I was just sucking with you in your time.
Because it's 7:57.
We got another 20 minutes till mincha.
But we don't have to learn Gemara.
Yeah, we don't.
What's the pocket? What?
No, he talks about the pocket series? Why
Pocket Art Scroll. I don't know pocket.
It's very good. They have it at Berman's. You go in, they have it at the front. It's like, Lahavdil, you go in the supermarket, they have, what do they call those items? Impulse items. So they have an impulse item in Berman. You get a pocket series.
Was it like cards?
One on haircut. I have, look, I'm gonna bring in some sources when we do this with some pictures. But some of them, the pictures you might not want to know about. They're pretty serious stuff.
What's it?
No, you gotta know.
You have to know. You have to try.
Yeah, you gotta be careful cutting around the ears there. And then they do these things you see over here. They shave off everything over here. They try to push that out.
Who's your barber? You do it at home, no?
I do it. Yeah, we do it. I don't go to a barber.
No barber. You save how much kosher money?
Well, if you think about it, I don't know what the costs are nowadays. When I was a kid, it was $5 plus a $2 dip. I think the prices.
You can get maybe like the round in the back.
Then they raised it to 10. Once they raised it to double digits, it was already out of my budget. That's what I already.
I would say a haircut.
If you think about it, someone who is half bald on the front, they're going to charge you more for your beard. I mean, they're doubling. If anything, they should include the beard for free. So once they were doing that with the double-digit price, they said this is way out of the budget. And if you go on Amazon, you can actually get a full set of from 1 through 9, all the different numbers that you want. It comes with the whole kit, wireless and everything, fully electric, no gas. And $30 plus tax. So you make it back in one cut. I'm not doing a fancy cut. I'm married 9 years, about to expect the 5th. I'm not trying to, go to, walk down a red carpet or anything. So you gotta look representable. What's wrong? I don't even have hair. Think about it. And then it's a kosher way. It's done a kosher way. Yeah. Now, there's a whole discussion how often you should get a haircut.
What do you mean a whole discussion? There's a
Halacha l'maisa.
Rosh Chodesh, no?
Rosh Chodesh, Rabbi Yehuda Chassid says you're not
Erev
supposed to
Rosh
cut your
Chodesh,
hair.
Erev.
Oh, Erev Rosh Chodesh. Oh, that's a big difference. Erev Rosh Chodesh and Rosh Chodesh. You're going to have a lavish suit the Erev Rosh Chodesh? No, the suit is going to be on Rosh Chodesh. You get a haircut on Rosh Chodesh? No, Erev Rosh Chodesh.
Do you have a lavish suit? Oh, you went to Traditions once on Rosh Chodesh.
What? Oh,
and they gave it to him for free.
Yeah, 5 main course.
Because they were doing the Uber Eats photos, and they had to make one of everything.
But why only once?
He ate like a king that Rosh Chodesh.
Who said once a month was enough? It
Well,
says in the Gemara
Erev
Tainus,
Shabbos.
a king gets a haircut every single day. You have to know where's a person holding. Erev Shabbos, okay? Yeah, Erev Shabbos, we discussed that. That was, we discussed Erev Shabbos, shaving also, cutting nails, and all that. So it's in Reish Samach, right? Reish Samach made some 260, 262. You gotta cut the hair, right? What are you, Taina? You allowed to eat at a restaurant on a fast day?
It's a fast day. You can't eat.
What do you mean? You have a head day.
Why?
If you're pregnant, if you're nursing, and one of the ways you're
Marasayan.
allowed to, if you're old, if you're weak,
Marasayan.
why Marasayan? Everyone sees you're sick. You wear a hat that says I am sick.
People aren't doing that.
So why not? Who says you can?
There's a share. I can sense a share coming.
I already put it up.
Please link in the comments to
No
the
one's 41 minutes.
41 minutes.
41 minutes. No one's.
You don't think anyone's listening? Yitzi Langer listens to everything.
actually got tremendous
Yitzi,
physics.
show him that. What tremendous
I got
physics?
tremendous physics. I was looking for the word synonymous. How do you say that in antonym form?
Antonymous.
Yeah. Spelling's trick. I forgot the word.
Antonymous.
That's very good spelling.
Thank you.
So I blanked on the word, and deep in, someone commented.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a chiddush because I only get like 20 hours a month.
Boy say,
Someone,
give chizik to the Magid Shi.
but there's a whole tshuva, Rabbi Yosef, in his Chazan of Adja, on the Daled Taniyos, on page 37, he has 5 pages where he talks about this, and he says, there's another restaurant you could go to. So there's other restaurants open, you're allowed to keep your restaurant open because there are other ones you can go to. But he says you should hang up a sign that says, today is a public fast day. That's what he says you should do. So
Hold on, what were you saying about that? There's another restaurant.
So there's a whole sugya tray.
That's why you don't have to close. You're saying
that's why you don't have to close it.
the
But you should, so the Shevet Kahati, he says, you know why you could sit down there? Because by the time you go home, if you're sick, it might negatively affect you from a health perspective. You need to eat it there. You can't wait.
Take the food to go and eat in your horse and buggy.
So my obvious claim to that is, what do you mean? Now you got Uber Eats, you got all these apps that I never used once in my
Didn't
life.
have it in those times.
Okay, fine, but it's not relevant, that idea anymore. So now who said that you could stay in the restaurant? So he says, wait a second.
He doesn't have. You have to be. A lot of people don't have smartphones. They don't have access.
You could call, they'll deliver.
Yeah.
If you pay enough, whatever. I don't know if they have.
I think
all the-
Traditions, they used to not be on these apps, and then they buckled.
I never got a delivery in my life. I always showed up. I don't know.
No delivery.
That's just weird.
But the Paliyot says that
So
if
it's a very
you can
beautiful
spend money to do something that will free you up to learn,
Yeah.
why go to the store?
Which Arif did you say that is?
I have to look it up, but he says that menial tasks around the house,
Yeah.
you're able to hire somebody. So
Let me know what that is. I want to look that up.
yeah, I'd have to.
Let me know which Arif.
research it. Yeah, I saw it pretty recently.
No, that is a thing. Delegating.
Yeah,
It's 100% a thing.
Maybe that's what it was.
You have to
Delegating.
measure. If you're getting a $15 lunch special and the delivery is $12, so now you're paying as much for the delivery as the thing, especially if you're 4 minutes away from.
If it's that close.
So you gotta know, and then the food also cools down if you like it hot. Also, that's another.
Do you drive to the restaurant or walk to the restaurant? Because it's not so pushy when it comes to minute if you should walk or drive.
That was a good one. I don't know
That's
if you
another
watched that
share.
whole thing.
I watched a little bit.
That was a
It's
good-
another share on the Blond channel.
But hold it. If you look in the Shiloh's and Chuvas Makadish, it's
Guys, write this down.
in Simon Gimel. you look in Simon Gimel in the beginning when he talks about Ambena Mitzadim of Harfness. You heard of Harfness?
No.
Chashuv.
Ben Mitzrayim, for those that don't know, is the
Dozens of
3
svarim.
weeks. The 3 weeks. Not to be confused with Shoivavim.
He says that
What's the Bain? What's the Shoivavim days? Bain something.
he
Yeah.
rips people
What?
that are having tea parties and appetizers and mains in the restaurants on a fast day. Okay, they're allowed to eat, but
Who goes to a
you gotta
restaurant
take
on
it
a
to go.
fast day?
He says you got to do
Have
two
some.
options. One of two
Have
things.
some.
Either you have to get it to go, or the owner of the restaurant's got to shut the lights off to show that there's
Go
a
through the
different
drive-through.
situation.
That's what I did once. I had to break my fast. I wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
I needed a coffee,
Yeah.
so I went through the drive-through quietly. On the
Drive-through?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could do that. Yeah.
I didn't want to go in.
That's going into, if you're saying drive-through, I feel like you're talking Dunkin' Donuts.
Starbucks.
Which you got another issue of Cholesterol there and
No,
other shilas and,
no, I do soy milk,
oh, soy milk. There's other, you should go on.
skim milk
I
maybe.
think the OU website, or maybe start
Yeah.
there, they go into certain of the drinks I think are issues because they wash it with items that aren't kosher and whatever. You gotta look into that also. But yeah, well, you gotta. So then they ask a shaila, why are you allowed to eat at a restaurant? You're supposed to eat just basic food. You're not supposed to be whining and dining. That's a stringency. If you need it, also for health reasons, you got. So at the end
Health
of the,
reasons what? To eat
if
in a
you need
restaurant?
to eat, yeah, fancy or lavish food, whatever.
Please,
At
please.
the end of the day, he says you really shouldn't be dining and you should be getting takeout, or you close the light, put the chairs up. I have nothing to do with the VAD, I'm mashkiach or anything, but I think if you would actually ask your AI, or you look into the VAD's website in the 5 towns, what is their policy on the fast day? Do they keep the store open or not? Right? So you have to calculate also, you're keeping a store open, and now people are going to sit there, other people are going to see you eating, and they're going to say, wait a second, if they're eating, why can't I? They see through the window. That could cause now other people to have a problem. But you have to know your clientele. You're going on the Upper East Side, Saba's Pizza. We went there around a month ago. We go, is this place kosher? We looked at the side, it says kosher, Kol of Yisrael, everything. There were 4 parties there, none of them were Jewish. None of them.
So there you
So,
go. You're
so
allowed.
for sure, there'd be more of a head there to keep it open. This is very nice. You got restaurants, you got reserve cut. These places, what are they paying a month in rent? 10K?
Yeah.
They're gonna close for 1 day. So Shabbos they do prefix. People go there. So now it's Tisha B'av.
Yeah, what's the shot you're allowed to go to a restaurant?
What's the problem? What's different than a hotel?
Because it's my side.
Marseille or what? It's all prepaid.
Yeah, but people don't know that.
Of course they do.
How do you say?
That's the only way. There's not one person in that restaurant that is allowed to go in and pay there. You're not allowed to. Someone wants to go in who's not Jewish and order something on
Blows my
Friday
mind
night.
that that's permissible.
Why not?
So not Shabbos day.
What's the difference between that and a hotel? What's the problem? If anything, I'd say a hotel is less Shabbos because of all the automatic doors and other issues over there. People on the phones at the desk. No one's on the phone. No one's doing anything. Question is, could the waiter write down your order? In the high-end places, they don't even write down orders. They just remember it. That's the thing. Could they come around with their little pads?
Oh,
That's what to talk about. I don't even think that they do, probably.
form of Amir La'akum.
They probably do. Well, you're not telling him to use it.
But if you know he's gonna,
Right. It's probably all prefixed. They have limited items you
Yeah,
can get.
yeah,
They
yeah.
have it. So then what's the
and
problem?
they do buffet style also, so you don't have to place
Yeah,
your
yeah.
order.
Could depend. I can't tell you from experience. I don't hang out in the city on Shabbos.
Not in the
But
hotel.
this is from what I'm told. Yeah, the hotels do buffet, yeah. Depends what type of situation you have, but so what's the difference between that and a hotel?
Rabbi Sai, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you everyone for listening. Please remember to drink water, but not on a fast day.